City News on TV Rotorua is proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.
Kia ora tonight on City News. Locals and visitors enjoy Māori culture at the Whakanuia Waitangi celebration. The Youth Centre marks 175 years since the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi, and records were broken at the weekend's Tarawera Ultra Marathon. Whakarewa Thermal Village is celebrating another successful Whakanuia Waitangi celebration, with hundreds visiting the village on Friday. Our cameraman Graham Jones went along to capture the festivities. Also celebrating 175 years since the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi was the Rotorua Youth Centre.
Kia ora whanau, welcome to today's event, the Waitangi Festival for the Rotorua Youth Centre. Yesterday we celebrated 175 years of the treaty being signed here in our beautiful country. So welcome, we've got lots of events on today, lots of prizes, lots of live music, band singers, and we've also got
If this is love, then give me love. And this is love, then give me love. If this is love, then my love isn't fading. Turn out the nightlight, 'cause I'm not scared anymore. For me, I'm growing up. I didn't get to see all of these things that I wish I could show you. Hello world, this is me. I've got a lot to tell you. I'm growing up, I've learned to earn my name. I've learned to love, I wanna feel.
When I left TV Rotorua way back in August, I sort of had a bit of time off, did a countrywide fundraiser for the Child Cancer Foundation, and we were away for 6 weeks for that. Came back home, had some time off for Christmas, and then the Youth Centre offered me the role a couple of weeks ago. So it sort of works in with what I'm doing anyway with my youth project, and it's exciting because we've got a lot of projects on the go. We've got a lot of events coming up, especially with today with the Waitangi Festival. We've got workshops with the schools. We've got 9 different workshops starting next week, so we've been chucked right into the deep end to pick up all these different projects and run with it. So myself and Vina, who's just over there preparing all the food, we've been pretty busy since day one, really.
In sport tonight, records were broken at the Tarawera Ultra Marathon following brilliant races from champions Dylan Bowman and Ruby Murr. Bowman from California won the 100 kilometres race between Rotorua and Kawerau in a time of 7 hours, 44 minutes and 58 seconds on Saturday. That time was about 45 minutes quicker than the previous record set by former Tarawera Ultra Marathon and Rotorua Marathon champion Sam Werford in 2011. Napier's Ruby Murr also added her name to the history books, winning the women's 100 kilometre race in just over 9 hours. Murr, who has won the event before, shaved off more than an hour off the old record. Race director Paul Charteris says conditions were near perfect for racing on Saturday, and the elite field was the strongest it has been in the 7-year history of the event.
It's really a beautiful course that goes from Rotorua to Kawerau. It's the scenery, it's the course, it's the people, it's the culture, and it's now a really recognised race on the world circuit. So people all around the world do know about it, and a lot of people do have it on their bucket list for not for this year, for next year, maybe even for 5 years' time.
To your weather update now. Tonight, fine with westerly breezes and an overnight low of 14. Tomorrow, Tuesday, becoming fine with southeasterlies developing, a high of 22 and a low of 8. And looking out to Wednesday, fine with light winds, a high of 23 and a low of 10. In the marine weather forecast, variable 5 knots becoming southeast 15 knots early in the morning and then easing to 10 knots in the evening. With waves less than half a metre, there'll be fair visibility in a few morning showers and then fine. Still to come tonight on City News, we find out about events coming up at the Arts Village with manager Mary Beth Akers. Crispy and Stewart has news about events planned for the Vodafone Warriors visit this week. And we talk with youth worker Maylene Moroti to find out about the Piritahi program.
Welcome to the Arts Village for our first 2015 interview with Mary Beth Akers. Mary, thank you again for having us.
Thank you. It's nice to see you.
How was your holiday?
Very good. Very busy. Enjoyed all the good weather.
It was great weather, wasn't it? Now, what happened down here at the Arts Village during the holiday?
So we had the Open Studios project, which is our summer residency program. It's the biggest it's ever been. We had a living stipend for the first time for artists to support them during their time here, so that people could take the time off work and family commitments. We had applications from all over the world: Italy, New York, Melbourne, and the 3 successful applicants were all local Rotorua artists. It was Sarah Zyson, Angela Frank and Heidi Stuck, which was awesome.
Oh, Heidi. How was Heidi doing?
Great. She did a muraling project over the summer, so we should be seeing some of the ideas from the residency here going into mural projects in the city during the year.
Fantastic. Sounds like a great summer. And so Art in the Park?
So Art in the Park is happening next Sunday on the 15th, down in the Government Gardens. We've got about 60 stall holders. The weather's looking good so far, and it's going to be a great day. It's going between 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And heaps of local artists demonstrating their craft. Lots of good ways to find out about artists and tutors, and just a really fun family day with some music and food as well.
Very nice. Any new exhibitions for us to view?
So our first exhibitions for the year are opening today, and they're available to view until the 29th of February. So both fine artists, Kathy Ward in the Cottage Gallery and Tim Quirk in the Mosaic Gallery. And they both do fine classical portraiture and landscapes.
Very nice. And so how have your after-school children's art programs been going?
So for the first time last year, we had Lani Isles running the after-school art programs on a Tuesday and a Thursday, which is starting back up again this week and next week. So anybody who is a school-age child who wants to do art, it's 3:30 to 5 p.m. here at the village, and you can contact us for more info or come down and see Lani for a chat.
Very nice. Talk to us about Arts Mad.
So Arts Mad, the first Arts Mad for the year, is happening next Wednesday on the 11th. Down here in Studio 1 at 5:30. We've got a really exciting collection of speakers, including a couple of artists from our residency, a local belly dancing group who are going to put on a performance, one of the sculptors from the sculpture walk that's outside, so it's going to be a very exciting night.
Very nice. And so what's coming up for the first week in May? I hear that you've got something quite special happening for the youth.
Yes, so for Youth Week in May, we are going to be running a Youth Voice project here, which is funded by COGS from the Department of Internal Affairs.
Oh, very nice.
Just trying to get some more visioning from young people around our city spaces and looking at what works and what doesn't work, and trying to just build on all the members of the public having a little bit of ownership over public space through the arts.
Very cool. And speaking of public space, there are some very nice rooms here in this building. Actually, this building itself in its entirety is very, very nice. I hear that there may be some rooms up for rental here, and who would you rent those rooms to?
There are. We've got 4 offices available at the moment, which are available for long-term rental, which range from a small sort of artist's writing studio up to a big room with a cupboard. So just depending on people's needs, for professionals, artists, people who might just want a little bit of space to work on their art or work on a side business project, it's a great opportunity. We've got all, bathrooms, heating in the rooms, internet available, so it's quite a great place to be nested. And those range from $25 to $45 in price per week, so they're priced really reasonably, so
They
people
are
can
very.
afford them.
Does that include power and?
It includes power.
Yeah.
It doesn't include internet, but depending on your use, the charges are really, really small for that anyway. And we also, if anybody's just wanting a one-off space, we've got our 2 working studios, the Eric Bridgman studio, which is more of an academic space, the lounge, and a yoga meeting room. So lots of spaces here for all kinds of activities.
Very good. And I also hear that there's some job opportunities down here as well. Can you please tell us about those?
Yes, so we are looking for for 2 positions to join our team. One is a part-time cleaning position for 3 to 4 hours a week, supporting our existing cleaner, Diane, who we love. Diane's been with the village for 20 years.
Wow.
As part of the building,
Yeah.
which is amazing. And the other one is a part-time market coordinator. So that's looking after the Arts Village Market, which runs September to May. In February there's no market because it's out in the park during February, but otherwise it's the second Sunday in March, April, May that they'll be looking after, so that's really exciting as well.
Lovely. Thank you so very much for having us, Mary. And by the way, I love those rainbow earrings you've got on. Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries. The Penrith and Warrior game is only days away. Today I'm joined with Crispian Stewart from the Rotorua Lakes Council event coordinator about the 3 days worth of festivities surrounding this event. Crispian, thank you so very much for having us today, and we're all pretty excited about Warriors and Penrith game coming here very, very shortly. What does it take to get an event like this to Rotorua?
It is quite a process. It's certainly something in the making over a few years. We've been lucky enough to have it in 2010 and 2011, so we've got a good track record of hosting these fixtures. But it's a pretty competitive market out there with bidding for events, and each year Warriors put out tender. They like to travel at least 1, maybe 2 games outside of Auckland, and we're just lucky enough to have a proposal that fitted their needs for this year.
Absolutely. Now this is a 3-day festival, isn't it?
Yes, we've marketed it as a rugby league festival. It's just neat to recognise particularly the local contribution to rugby league, and hopefully that'll be a big part of the whole festival atmosphere on the day.
Absolutely. So with the advanced party promotions, what's the process?
Okay, so Warriors are sending down a crew a Wednesday evening before the main event on Saturday, so good couple of days to get in amongst the community. Particularly they're visiting 12 schools, which is neat, over the 2 days. They're going to spend some time at the night market on Thursday evening. Both teams will be there, Penrith and the Warriors, so great opportunity to meet the players, get photos with them and buy tickets, which will be available. And then Friday, pretty exciting, is the start of our inaugural Regional Nines tournament.
Absolutely. So for the locals in our community, what is it that you recommend that they do over the 3 days? Follow them all around, go to schools, go to the night market, all 3, and buy tickets?
Yeah, or definitely with the schools, make sure you know, they've targeted schools where neighbouring schools can cluster and join, so hopefully it captures as many school kids as possible. That's kind of how they've positioned the schools they're going to, so great connection with all the kids. The night market is a must, I think. I mean, you're not going to get any closer than getting photos right next to your favourite players and what have you. Have a go zone. The Warriors are bringing lots of activity on the Friday evening, which will be at the stadium when the Nines tournament kicks off at 6 o'clock. And that'll travel right through the Saturday morning, leading up to kick-off for the main game at 3 o'clock.
Now everyone's getting on board with it, even Flavour. I hear that they have a competition called the Ultimate Family Fans. Talk about that. Yeah,
no, neat. Flavour have been great supporters of this concept. We're going to pick a fan, favourite Ultimate Family fan. They'll get to have dinner with the two teams Friday evening. We'll put them up in accommodation that night. They'll come and join the game on Saturday and enjoy a helicopter ride, drop into the middle of the stadium to drop off the match ball. So a neat experience for the winning family.
That is brilliant. So what do you do in order to qualify to be in the draw? What do we have to do?
Now listen out on Flavour, get onto their website and get your favourite photo out there, and they'll be announcing that on the Thursday prior to the main game.
So for tickets for the game, if we don't happen to win, because there's going to be so many competitions for that particular draw, where do we get the tickets from?
Through Ticketmaster, through the websites. Definitely come to the Rotorua Convention Centre, Performance Arts Centre, get tickets through our main box office here, and definitely at the gate there'll be sales. Night market as well, and even the Friday have a go program prior at the stadium. We're having tickets for sale there.
Brilliant. Now what else have we got to look forward to for 2015? What events have you got on your calendar?
Probably the next biggest one for us will be the Chiefs game in May. We do have some local rugby and football prior, which is neat, but May is probably a big one with the Chiefs taking on the Bulls. Friday night, so that'll be a neat one, especially with Sunnyvale coming back to rugby, so it'll be neat.
Bit of a rugby fan, I hear.
No, I love my footy as well.
You love your footy?
Bit of a sports tragic, to be honest. Yeah.
You are? Okay. And I also hear that you're a bit of a cricket fan as well.
Yes, no, I enjoy my cricket, and yeah, it's pretty exciting times ahead with the Cricket World Cup just on our doorstep. Absolutely.
So with your involvement in cricket, I hear that you coach a team.
Yeah, coach a couple of junior teams. My kids are playing, which is probably my fault more than theirs, but they seem to be enjoying their cricket, and yeah, looking forward to taking them to a couple of games while the World Cup is local in Hamilton and Napier.
And you're all geared up to follow this tour?
Yes, got tickets to New Zealand games in Napier and Hamilton, taking the kids, and also got tickets to the final Melbourne, hopefully New Zealand again. But who knows?
Who knows? And of course, training your children up so that they become the new generation of cricketers.
Yeah, a little bit of a challenge in Rotorua. I mean, there's only limited numbers of players, but we've got a pretty good team at that junior committee level, and so we're keen to up our numbers. And we're organising teams games with Hamiltons, Taupos, even Hastings, and taking them to cricket camp. So hopefully, that'll generate more interest in the game locally.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for the rundown. We are definitely looking to the Warriors and Penrith game. Looking forward to it. And the next one in May.
Yep.
And probably catch you on TV at the World Cup.
Brilliant. Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Today we're at Te Wairiki with Mei-Ling Miruiti, and she's going to talk to us about a program called Te Ira Matatau, or Rangatahi Youth Program. Thank you so much for having us today, Mei-Ling.
You're welcome. So I'm with Te Wairiki Trust and do the Ira Matatau Rangatahi Leadership Program, which is active citizenship through Ministry of Youth Development. So we've got a lot of programs starting up. We just finished running the Ira Matatau Breakaway Holiday Program with the juniors, which was not long after everyone got back to work. So that was a 3-day. We did Lake Okarika, Blue Lake, and then we went to Mount Maunganui and we took them up the mountain over there, and then the week after that we had our senior holiday program, which we took the senior leaders down to Omaio Bay and stayed at Omaio Marae, and they did diving, fishing, kayaking on the sea, and the age group was 14 to 18. So we kind of got back from that last week, and that finished on Wednesday. So yeah, so now we're moving into our next lot of programs, which one is Piritahi Schools, which usually runs in the school, and we do sports events and things, and it's a collaborative approach with our BFB and free parking contracts as well. So we go into the school at lunchtimes, set up the sports equipment, music, just to get the kids involved, participating, even just watching, but getting them motivated at lunchtime so they're not doing other things during lunch. We also have the Warriors versus the Panthers game coming up. That's February the 14th, and so we're doing a Warriors promotion piritahi in the schools, where we've got 12 schools on board, 45-minute window. We've got 2 Warriors that will come in, plus Ruben Wiki. He'll take a training session, and we'll look at some interactive activities with the Warriors, with the kids, signings, role modelling, superstars and things like that. So that starts next week. We're going into the schools, and we've got to cluster the schools because there's 12 schools on board, ranging from primary up to high school. So we've kind of got 6 host schools, and then trying to get all the schools to come there. So at the moment we're still waiting for the schedule so that we can contact the schools with exact times to go in there and just promote the game, promote well-being, promote rangatahi leadership, all those things. So we're working alongside the youth centre with that as well. So yeah, so there's just some of the things that are coming up.
I'm really impressed, especially by the holiday program that you've just stabbled on, because you said you divided it into 2. You've got the youth and then you've got the seniors.
Yes.
Where does the funding come from for that?
Right, so that's part of Breakaway, which comes from the Ministry of Youth Justice, and we use that funding as well as my Ira Matatau funding to utilise the program and help it run. A good thing I forgot to mention was that we actually use the senior rangatahi leaders. They actually plan the holiday program. So they come in and they meet and they plan the junior holiday program. They do the budget, they go over everything, allocate what the activities are going to be, and then they plan their senior one as well. So, and we used to do it together, but the young people were like, we want our time. Nice. The older ones wanted their time and away from their siblings, because usually you get the siblings that come with the older rangatahi. And so they just said, can we have a program where we separate them? So yeah, it was really good that the rangatahi are the ones planning it, doing the budget, setting up the activities, booking everything. So yeah, it's really good.
Nice. Okay, so look, you've got, just to wind up, piritahi. How did that come on board?
Well, actually, that was an idea I've had for a long, long time, and it was about when my kids were at primary school and intermediate, and bullying was going on. And then I used to say, geez, how can we get some parents in there to help the teachers? Because obviously the teachers can't be there 24/7 at the school. They're teaching our kids. So I was thinking, what kind of program could we do to help? And then when I got my role here at Te Waiaki Puria Trust, I thought, here's something I can use our rangatahi leaders who are already in the schools, and some of them are leaders in the schools, or some of them were leaders with the parks, with Mariah, and we could use them to run some activities with us. So that's how it came about, and I just mentioned it to our team leader and said, look, what about this program? We go into the schools, because then bullying started happening again, when they're at high school, and my kids are at high school now. So it started happening again, not just, with our kids, but with everyone across the board, with the young people. So I kind of put it forward, well, let's do this, it's part of our contracts and we can initiate it and it'll set our outcomes. So yeah,
nice.
That's what it came about.
Look, Mei-Ling, I can see that you're an absolute passionate individual who has a lot of energy, and our rangatahi obviously well looked after in your hands. So thank you so very much for what you do, and thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was youth worker Mei-Ling Morote talking to Melanie Groves. You can catch up on City News via our website or YouTube channel, City News Rotorua. We hope you've enjoyed your long weekend. Thanks for joining us. Ko Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News on TV Rotorua was proudly brought to you by Rotorua Central.